You ever drive past a house that just feels wrong? Not run down, not abandoned in the usual way. The paint's fresh, the grass is cut, lights come on at night like clockwork, but something inside your chest tightens the second you see it. That was 47 County Road from me. This happened in late 2019, right outside the little town of Millhaven, Ohio. Population 2,143 the day I moved in, 2,142 the day I ran out screaming. I know the exact number because they still update that sign every time someone dies or leaves and never comes back. I was 26, fresh out of a nasty divorce, needed cheap rent and silence. Found a listing online. 3-bedroom farmhouse, wraparound porch, 20 acres, $800 a month, utilities included. The realtor, this twitchy guy named Carl, kept saying cash only, no questions, keys are in the mailbox. Red flag, sure, but I was broke and desperate. I pulled up at dusk that first Friday in October. The house looked perfect from the road. Big white 2-story with black shutters, old red barn way out back, cornfields on every side turning gold. But the second I killed the engine, nothing. No crickets, no wind, no distant dogs. Just my heartbeat thumping in my ears. I grabbed the keys from the mailbox like Carl said. There was something else in there too. A Polaroid, face down. I flipped it over later. Wish I never had. Inside smelled like lemon polish and something underneath it, metallic, old. Every light switch worked, every faucet ran clear, the fridge even hummed. Someone had been keeping the place up. But every room was empty. Not a stick of furniture, not a scrap of paper, nothing on the walls except clean rectangles where pictures used to hang. I brought an air mattress, a camp chair, and a 6-pack that night. Figured I'd get the U-Haul tomorrow. Set up in the living room, cracked a beer, scrolled on my phone. No service out here, which was fine. I wanted to disappear for a while. That's when I heard the first laugh. Soft. A little girl, maybe 6 or 7, coming from upstairs. I froze. House was supposed to be empty. Carl swore it had been vacant 2 years. I called out, "Hello?" like an idiot. The laugh stopped, like someone clapped a hand over the kid's mouth. Then nothing. I grabbed the flashlight on my phone, climbed the stairs slow. Every step creaked different, like the house was shifting its weight. 2nd floor, 4 bedrooms, 1 bath, all doors open except the one at the end of the hall. That door was closed tight. Fresh paint, no dust on the floor, but the knob was ice cold, like it had been sitting in a freezer. I knocked. No answer. Turned the knob. Locked. I stood there a minute, heart going nuts, telling myself it was a squatter, maybe a homeless kid. I'd deal with it in the morning. Went back downstairs, killed the lights, crawled into the air mattress, trying to laugh it off. 2:17 a.m. I woke up choking. Not dreaming, wide awake, something tight around my throat. Couldn't breathe, couldn't scream. My hands flew up and felt nothing. No fingers, no cord, just pressure like an invisible belt cinching tighter. I thrashed, knocked the lamp over, finally sucked in air so hard it burned. Sat up gasping, sweating, room pitch black. Then the little girl whispered right next to my ear, "You're in my spot." I swear her breath was cold as January. I swung the flashlight, nobody there, just the air mattress and my spilled beer. I didn't sleep again that night. At sunrise, I called Carl, went straight to voicemail, texted him, "Someone's in the house." He replied, one word, "Leave." I should have. Instead, I walked the property in daylight trying to calm down. The barn was locked with a fat padlock rusted solid. Behind it, half buried in weeds, I found a circle of stones, maybe 4 feet across, charred black inside. Bones, small ones, bird or rabbit, maybe something else. In the center, someone had carved a perfect handprint into a flat rock, child size. I took a picture, felt instantly sick, deleted it. Back at the house, I noticed something I missed the night before. Every interior door had a deadbolt on the outside, like you'd lock something in, not out. That afternoon, the moving truck came. 2 guys from town. Brothers, Luke and Mike. They took one look at the house and got quiet. "You sure this is the address?" Luke asked. "Yeah, why?" They traded a look. Mike said, "We don't come out here. Nobody does." I laughed it off, tipped them extra to hurry. They hauled the couch, the bed, the boxes. When they were done, Luke pulled me aside on the porch. "Listen, man, that laugh you heard? That's Abby." My stomach dropped. Who the hell is Abby? He looked over both shoulders even though we were alone for miles. Abigail Wheeler, 1978, 6 years old. Her daddy locked her in the back bedroom every night because she wouldn't stop screaming about the man with no face in her closet. One morning, her mom found the door still bolted from the outside, and Abby was gone. No broken windows, no footprints, nothing. Just her nightgown folded neat on the bed and a handprint burned into the wood floor that's still there. You can still smell smoke in that room sometimes. Mike was already in the truck, engine running. Luke climbed in, rolled the window down. "Whatever you do, don't open that locked door, and don't sleep on the first floor. Whatever's here, it likes the ground floor after dark." They peeled out, dust clouds swallowing the truck. I stood there till the sun bled out. Then I did the dumbest thing possible. I went back inside, grabbed a screwdriver, and headed for the locked room. The deadbolt was old but solid. Took me 10 minutes of jiggling and cursing. When it finally gave, the door swung in slow, like it was pushing against water. The room was pink. Bubblegum pink walls, faded unicorn wallpaper peeling at the corners, tiny iron bed frame, no mattress. And in the middle of the floor, that handprint, perfect outline, black, like someone pressed a red-hot child's hand straight into the wood. The smell hit me. Sweet smoke, like burning sugar. I stepped inside to take a picture, and the door slammed behind me. Total darkness. Then the giggling started, all around me, above me, under the damn floorboards, dozens of kids laughing at once, getting louder, meaner. I pounded the door, screamed, twisted the knob, locked from the outside, of course. That's when the scratching began, slow, deliberate, coming from inside the walls. Fingernails on plaster, dragging lower and lower until it sounded like something was scratching right behind my ankles. I backed into a corner, the phone dead, no signal anyway. The laughing stopped. Dead silence. Then one small voice, crystal clear, right in front of my face. "We've been waiting for a new daddy." Something cold and wet wrapped around my wrist, small fingers. Real. I jerked away so hard my shoulder popped, threw myself at the door over and over till the frame splintered, burst out into the hallway, slammed it shut, dragged the heavy hall dresser in front of it with strength I didn't know I had. I slept in my truck that night, engine running, heater blasting, too scared to even shut my eyes. Next morning, Carl finally answered his phone. I was shaking so bad I could barely talk. "What the hell is in that room?" Long pause. "You opened the door," he said, not a question. "Yeah, I opened it. There's something in there." Another pause, then quiet as death. "Whatever you do, don't let it follow you downstairs after midnight. That's when it gets hungry." He hung up. I haven't gone back inside since. But every night at 2:17 a.m. exactly, my phone buzzes with a text from a number that doesn't exist. Same message every time. "Come tuck me in, Daddy." I'm sitting in a Motel 6 off I-70 right now, recording this on my phone because I'm too scared to sleep. Tomorrow I'm driving back to get my stuff in broad daylight. I have to know if that handprint is still burned into the floor, or if there's a new one next to it, bigger. I'll tell you what I find, if I make it out again.
I went back the next morning, Wednesday, October 23rd, 2019, 9:47 a.m. exactly. I remember because I kept checking the clock like it was the only thing still normal. I told myself daylight makes everything smaller, lies we tell ourselves, right? I parked 100 yards down the road, walked in through the corn so nobody driving by would see my truck in the driveway. The stalks were dry, rattling like bones. Sun was bright, but the air felt thick, like breathing through wet cotton. The house looked innocent in the light. White paint glowing, porch swing moving just a little even though there was no wind. I had the keys in one hand and a crowbar in the other. Felt like an idiot, but not enough of one to leave it in the truck. Front door was unlocked. I never leave doors unlocked. I stepped inside and the smell hit me first. Burnt sugar again, stronger, mixed with something sour like spoiled milk. All my boxes were exactly where the movers left them, but every single one had been opened. Clothes folded neat on the couch, my coffee maker on the counter, plugged in, half a pot still warm. Someone had been waiting for me. I went straight upstairs, boots loud on purpose, wanted whatever was here to know I was coming. The dresser I dragged in front of Abby's door was pushed back against the wall like it weighed nothing, door standing wide open. The pink room was colder than outside. My breath came out in clouds. The handprint in the floor was still there, black as ever, but now there was a second one right beside it, adult-sized, my-sized, the edges still smoking. I took one step in and every hair on my body stood up. The unicorn wallpaper started peeling by itself, long strips curling down like skin. Underneath was writing scratched deep into the plaster, hundreds of lines. He let us out. He let us out. He let us out. Thank you, Daddy. I backed out fast, pulled the door shut, heart slamming so hard I thought I'd puke. That's when I heard the kitchen faucet running downstairs, full blast. I crept down, crowbar raised. Water was pouring, but the weird part, it was black, thick, inky, stinking like old pennies. The sink was full and overflowing, running across the floor toward my shoes. I turned the taps. They spun loose. Nothing changed. I yanked the whole faucet off with the crowbar, still pouring, like the pipe went straight down into hell. Then the water whispered. Not gurgled, whispered. 100 little voices all at once, bubbling up. Play with us. I ran, grabbed my laptop bag, my wallet, didn't even lock the door behind me, jumped in the truck and peeled out. In the rear view, I saw every curtain in the house move at once, like kids waving goodbye. I got 20 miles before the truck died, just quit, rolling to a stop on the side of the highway. No lights, no click, nothing. I popped the hood, battery cables chewed clean through, little teeth marks, human-looking. AAA towed me to a shop in Zanesville. While I waited, I started digging online. Millhaven doesn't have much, but old newspapers do. 1978 wasn't the first time a kid vanished from that house. 1933, 3 siblings, ages 4, 6, and 8. Parents found the bedroom doors bolted from the outside, kids gone, handprints burned into the floorboards. Sheriff ruled runaways in October, barefoot. 1957, twin girls, age 7, same thing. One extra detail in the article. Mother swore she heard laughter coming from inside the walls for weeks afterwards. Every 20 to 30 years, like clockwork. Always little kids, always the back bedroom, always gone without a trace. And always a new family moves in right after. Cheap rent, cash only, no questions. I started shaking so bad the guy at the counter asked if I needed a doctor. That night, I checked into the same Motel 6, room 207. Deadbolt, chain, chair under the knob. Thought I was safe. 2:17 a.m., the TV turned itself on. Static. Then a little girl's face filled the screen, so close her nose almost touched the glass inside. Pale, blonde curls, eyes black from side to side. She smiled with too many teeth and said my name. Not the name on my driver's license, my childhood nickname only my dead grandmother ever used. Maddie. I yanked the plug, screen went black, but the voice kept coming from the dark. We followed you, Maddie. You left the door open. I slept in the lobby that night. The clerk thought I was on drugs. Thursday morning, I called the only person still alive who might know something, Ruth Wheeler, Abby's older sister. She was 60 now, lived in Florida. Took me 4 hours to track her down through old Facebook posts. She answered on the second ring, voice like gravel. You're calling about the house. Not a question. I told her everything. When I got to the new handprint, she started crying. Not sad crying, angry. That was Daddy's hand, she whispered. He went back in 1981 to burn the place down. We found what was left of him in the cellar, just his hand, still smoking. She told me the rest. Their father wasn't locking Abby in to keep her safe. He was locking the rest of the world out of her room, because something was already inside with her, something that wore her skin when it got hungry. The night Abby disappeared, Ruth, 11 years old, hid in the closet and watched through the slats. Said Abby sat on the bed talking to empty air, laughing, calling it the man with the smile that goes all the way up. Then Abby stood on the mattress, put her little hand flat on the ceiling, and the ceiling opened like a mouth, pulled her up inside, plaster raining down, black water dripping. Ruth ran and got their father. He bolted the door, nailed boards across it, poured gasoline all over the second floor, and lit the match. Fire department said the blaze went straight up, like a chimney, burned a perfect circle through the roof. But the pink room, untouched, wallpaper still pink, bed frame still there, handprint already cooling in the floor. They sold the land cheap the next year. New owners fixed the roof, painted, rented it out. Cycle started again. Ruth's last words to me before she hung up were, "Whatever's in there doesn't want kids anymore. It wants a daddy now, someone to open all the doors, someone to let the rest of them out." I haven't slept since. Tonight, I'm sitting in my truck outside a Walmart in Columbus, doors locked, engine running, recording this on my phone again, because every motel I check into, the TV turns on at 2:17. Same little face, same black eyes. I still have the keys to the house in my pocket. They're warm, like body temperature. And every time I close my fist around them, I hear that giggle, close, like it's sitting in the passenger seat. Tomorrow, I'm going back one last time. Not to get my stuff, to burn it down myself, properly this time. Gas cans are already in the back. If you don't hear part 3, you'll know why. Pray for me.
Friday, October 25th, 2019. I'm recording this in the cab of my truck at 3:12 a.m., parked a quarter mile down the road from the house. Engine off, lights off. Moon's gone behind clouds, and it feels like the whole county is holding its breath with me. I came back at sunset with 5 20-gallon cans of diesel, a road flare, and a GoPro strapped to my chest like some dumb ghost hunter. Told myself if I was going to die, at least someone would see what really happened. I'm not proud of what I did tonight, but I'm still alive. Barely. I walked straight up the porch steps this time. Didn't sneak. Front door was standing open like it was waiting for me to come home from work. Inside, every light in the house was on, blazing, even the ones I never hooked up. Music was playing, an old record player I don't own, spinning that creepy 1950s kids song, Teddy Bear's Picnic. The one that goes, "If you go down to the woods today." I set the cans in the living room, started splashing diesel on the walls, the stairs, the couch, everything that would burn. Smell made my eyes water, but the house soaked it up like it was thirsty.
That's when the record scratched and the song slowed way down, voices dropping into this deep growl. If you go down in the house tonight, you won't come out alive. I lit the road flare. Red glow lit the whole foyer like blood. And every door upstairs slammed open at once. Bang, 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 bang. Then footsteps, small ones, dozens, running. They came down the stairs in a wave, barefoot, wearing old-fashioned nightgowns and pajamas, some from the 30s, some from the 70s, some, I swear, were the clothes kids are wearing right now. Faces pale, eyes solid black, mouths stretched too wide, smiling like they were so happy to finally see me. I froze, flare shaking in my hand. The closest one, Abby, blonde curls, nightgown burned at the hem, tilted her head and spoke with a mouth that didn't move right. "You brought us presents, Daddy." She pointed at the diesel cans. I screamed something, I don't even know what, and threw the flare at the stairs. The fire went up so fast it sucked the air out of my lungs. Kids didn't scream. They laughed. High, delighted shrieks as the flames crawled up their legs, their arms, their faces. They danced in it, spinning, holding hands, hair on fire like birthday candles. I ran for the front door. It wouldn't open. Deadbolt was on the outside. Someone had locked me in from the porch. I turned around and the fire wasn't spreading normal. It was moving in shapes, long arms of flame reaching across the ceiling, forming a giant handprint over the living room, same size as the one in the pink room. The kids were gone, just smoke and the smell of burning sugar. I kicked out a window, glass exploded outward, crawled over the sill, coughing black crap out of my lungs, landed hard in the flower bed. Looked back. The house was fully engulfed, but the flames were only on the first floor. Second floor windows glowed pink, every single one. And in each window stood a child, watching me, waving. I stumbled to the truck, fumbled the keys, looked in the rear view. They were all standing in the yard now, dozens of them, fire behind them, lighting up their black eyes. Abby in front, holding something in her arms. My GoPro, still recording, red light blinking. She smiled, raised one little hand and pressed it flat against the back window of my truck from the outside, left a perfect steaming handprint on the glass. Then all of them turned at once and walked back into the burning house, one by one, like they were going inside to wait. I floored it, didn't stop till I hit Columbus. I'm at a 24-hour diner right now, hands still shaking so bad I can barely hold the phone. The GoPro battery died somewhere on I-70, but I haven't watched the footage yet. I'm scared to. But here's what I know now. The fire department got there 20 minutes after I left. I watched the news on the diner TV. They said the house burned to the ground, totally destroyed, nothing left but the foundation and the chimney. Except one thing. When the ashes cooled, firefighters found a perfect circle of floorboards on the second floor that didn't burn. Pink room, still there. Handprints in the wood, dozens now, all different sizes, still smoking. And in the middle of the circle, my crowbar, melted in half. They also found something else under the foundation. Old root cellar nobody knew was there. Iron door welded shut from the inside. They had to use torches to cut it open. Inside were bones, lots of them, all small. Some really old, some fresh. And on the wall, scratched over and over with tiny fingernails, "He let us out. He let us out. He let us out. Thank you, Daddy." The sheriff called it the worst thing he'd seen in 30 years. They're calling it a mass grave, still trying to identify the kids. But here's what the news didn't say. They found one more thing in that cellar. A brand new phone. Mine, the one I lost in the fire. Screen cracked, but still getting signal. It keeps getting texts, the same time every night, 2:17 a.m. I'm looking at it right now. New message just came in. It's a video, 30 seconds long. It's me, tonight, walking through the burning house with the flare, from inside the pink room, looking down. At the end of the video, the camera tilts up, and you can see them, all the kids standing behind me the whole time, smiling, mouths too big, holding hands in a circle around me. And right before it cuts to black, Abby leans into the lens and whispers, "See you soon, Daddy. We left the door open for you." I just looked up directions. The foundation's still there. They roped it off with yellow tape, but the tape's already torn down. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Maybe because someone needs to know. Maybe because I'm going back tonight. One last time. If this is the last part you ever hear from me, tell my mom I'm sorry. And whatever you do, if you ever see a house for rent, cheap, cash only, no questions, drive past. Don't stop. Don't look in the windows. Because they're still looking for a new daddy. And they know your name now. Thanks for listening, guys. If you liked this story, hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell. Share it with someone you want to scare the hell out of. This is Maddie, signing off. For good.
This is recording on Sunday night, November 3rd, 2024. 5 years to the day after I thought I burned that place out of my life. I never posted this part. I couldn't. The channel blew up after part 3, 1 million views overnight. Everyone thought it was the perfect ending. Guy disappears, spooky open-ended finale. Perfect for Halloween. They called it the best creepypasta of 2019. They had no idea it was real. I've been hiding ever since. Different name, different state, cash jobs, no social media. I even shaved my head and grew a beard so old viewers wouldn't recognize me in a gas station. But they found me anyway. 2 weeks ago, I woke up in my new apartment in Tucson, and the smell was there. Burnt sugar and spoiled milk under the door. I opened it. Hallway was empty, but on the carpet someone had drawn a perfect child-sized handprint in what looked like soot. That same night, my phone, burner I bought at Walmart, got its first text in 5 years. 2:17 a.m. Unknown number. A single photo. The foundation on County Road 47. Yellow tape gone. Fresh white siding going up. A brand new for rent sign in the yard. $800 a month. Cash only. Keys in mailbox. Below the photo, 3 words. Welcome home, Daddy. I threw the phone in the toilet and flushed it. Bought a new one the next day. Same thing happened the next night, and the night after. They rebuilt the house. Exactly the same, down to the black shutters and the wraparound porch. I thought burning it would end the cycle. Turns out fire just makes them patient. Last Wednesday, I got a package at the auto shop where I work under the table. No return address. Inside was a Polaroid, the same one I found in the mailbox 5 years ago, face down. I flipped it. It was me, current me, bald, bearded, grease on my face, standing at the counter ringing up a customer. Taken from inside the shop, that same day. On the white border, written in red crayon, "We see you, Matty." I closed the shop early, packed 1 bag, and started driving east. Figured distance was all I had left. I made it as far as Amarillo before the truck died again. Same chewed battery cables, little teeth marks. While I waited for the tow, I walked to a McDonald's for coffee.
sat in the corner booth, hood up, trying not to shake. A little girl sat down across from me, maybe 7, blonde curls, wearing a nightgown under her winter coat, bare feet black with dirt. She smiled exactly like Abby. "Hi, Daddy," she said, out loud, normal volume. Nobody in the restaurant even looked up. I couldn't move. She slid a kid's meal toy across the table, one of those cheap Happy Meal things, a little plastic unicorn. It was warm, like it just came out of a pocket. "We saved your room," she whispered. "Pink wallpaper's new. You're gonna love it." Then she got up and walked out, left the unicorn. I stared at it for 10 minutes before I realized it wasn't plastic. It was carved out of a human finger bone, tiny, painted white with a rainbow mane glued on. I left the restaurant running, didn't stop till I was on the next Greyhound headed anywhere. But here's the thing they never tell you about running from something that already knows your smell. You just bring it with you. Every bus I've been on the past week, the same little girl gets on a few stops later, sits 3 rows up, turns around and waves. Every motel I check into, the TV flickers on at 2:17 a.m. with static and her face pressed against the inside of the screen. Every morning, housekeeping finds a new burnt handprint on the carpet, getting bigger, like whatever's making them is growing up fast. Last night, I hitched a ride with a trucker off Memphis, fell asleep in the sleeper cab, woke up because the cab was freezing. The trucker was gone, door hanging open, rig parked on I-40 doing 70 with nobody driving. On the windshield, written in the fog from the inside, "Your turn to drive, Daddy." I jumped out, rolled into the ditch, watched the truck keep going till it disappeared. That's when I knew. They don't want me dead. They want me to come home and finish what I started. They want me to open every door I nailed shut. All of them. I'm in a Waffle House off I-65 right now, 4:08 a.m., recording this on my last working phone before the battery dies. I'm 2 hours from Millhaven. I'm going back. Not to burn it this time. I'm going to walk inside, go upstairs and sit in that pink room until they come get me. Because I finally figured it out. The house doesn't keep the kids. The kids keep the house. And they've been waiting 25 years for the one daddy stupid enough to let them all out and guilty enough to take their place. So if you're listening to this and you still live anywhere near Ohio, do me a favor. Drive past County Road 47 one day. If the house is still there, if the porch light is on, and if you see a grown man sitting on the swing at night, waving at cars with a smile that doesn't fit his face, keep driving. Don't wave back, because that'll be me, and I'll be waiting for new company. This really is the end this time. Thanks for keeping me company while it lasted. Tell my mom. Tell her the kids are fine. They just needed their daddy to come home. See you on the other side. No more parts coming, guys. The channel stays up so the story never dies. But Matty, he just went to bed. Upstairs. Door locked from the outside. Good night, America. Check under your bed. They like to hide there now.